ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, August 13th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm live. Yay. Looking forward to getting my coloring on with you. Got lots of things planned. Okay. Good to see everybody. Don't forget to do a quick hello when you pop in the door, so I know that you can hear me, and more importantly, I can see comments. Woo. All right, muggy, muggy, muggy. I'm telling you. Welcome to my Facebook peeps who watch this live while I'm here. And we can talk and chat and get into lots of trouble. And welcome to my Facebook lurkers who watch. Hi, Pearly. And I hope you're enjoying just watching. That is wonderful. You are absolutely welcome here. Love it when you guys come in. I hope you're learning something when you're watching, and if you have any questions, drop down and ask. Okay, and also welcome to my YouTube viewers. I upload this to YouTube after the fact. So it's live on, on video on YouTube, and after the live here on Facebook, it goes to video as well. Lots of places to watch it. All right. So glorious, glorious Friday to everybody. Got something I want to show you. I got some Happy Mail today. And I am delighted to show you this. So I've been wanting to get a hold of the Liquid Pearls by Ranger. And because of donations to the group, hi Sandy, because of donations to the group, I was able to get the package. There are 30 colors in this. I am so excited to show this to you. And what liquid pearls are is they're a colored, I don't know if I really want to call them, they're, let's see, it says liquid pearls are great for embellishing paper, use dimensionally from bottle, paint with a brush, or dilute for use as a glass, or as a glaze, excuse me. So what you can do is you can put little blobs on something and they stay put. That's what I like to use them for. So we've got them now in our arsenal. I have been buying some other colors, so I've got a few of those myself. So I'm real happy with that. Alrighty, so let me put these back in the container, or the shipping package I should say. I can't wait to use these for you. So here's a color called White Opal. And so a really great place to use those would be like on gems, or pearls, excuse me, literally on things that are pearls. And the little globs look like pearls. And like I said, they dry in a mound. They don't settle down into the paper. Okay. La, da, 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 da. So I've got those to keep me out of trouble. Maybe I'll use them on, I'll use them on this piece. I think that would be so cool. That's what I'll do. Okay, this book, this piece that I'm working on is called Christmas Florals. Did you get your answer, Sandy? I've been having a ball doing this for you. Sandy got this book for our group. I don't know if it's still available on Amazon, but the last that we looked, I think it was like a couple dollars. Sounds like they're just trying to get rid of the stock, which is I think sad, but I think it's a lovely book. I love it. Okay. And I've got some surprise upcoming projects that I'm going to be working on for you. Hold on, I'm just looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay, I gotta get my scrap sheet here. Yeah, $2.99. Yep. I will use liquid pearls on this. Okay. So the last time we were together, I am doing an old-fashioned sled. Hello, Mary. Always good to see you, Mary. La-da-dum. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking for something. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had to take a quick peek. All right, so, oh Mary, you don't have to thank me. I'm just glad to see you. Love you, sweetie. Okay, so I'm coloring this like an old-fashioned Christmas. And I'm going to go ahead and do these bells. And what you want to do when you're doing something like this is you want to do a muted coloring, colors. Let me know if the music level is okay. Zoom in. Now, why do you think well, I'm going to go ahead. I guess I should tell you what I'm doing before I ask you why. Oh my, ILene. So I'm going to do the bells in silver. Will somebody tell me why I'm doing that? So I've got a really light silver color here to contrast the yellow tones. Yep, that's exactly right, Rhonda and Mary. I could do the bells in gold, and it would look good, actually. Especially if I did shiny gold. But we want to have some contrast. Zoom in. And now I'd also like you guys to tell me where my highlights are going to be on these bells. Let's do these rings. I feel exceptionally good today. So I'm putting down a light gray. Silver bells. See, that works. Silver bells. So is somebody going to tell me where my highlights are supposed to go? Or not supposed to, but can go. There's different areas. Alright, so I'm going to put some darker gray on my edges. And I'm going to pop a little gray into the top of my ring. Dang, that looks cute. And I'm going to put my darker gray on the outside here. And I'm going to allow a little bit of splotching of my gray. You'll see in a minute. And what do I tell you guys to do to get ideas about how to color something? So if somebody would throw me that answer, I'd appreciate it. Da-da-da-dum. Google it, yep. So you'll notice that my gray looks rough because I really haven't blended it the way that I want to right now. For some reason, I don't know why, people think it's cheating to Google it. It's not. Oh my gosh, guys, no. Get ideas. If you think about it, that's why I do my coloring, to give you guys ideas. And guys, thank you so much for your comments about the excuse me, the pirates. The pirate I did. You guys seem to be fixated on that scarf that I colored in. Zoom out. All right. So I'm very lightly now going to, using the side of my blender pencil. Now see, I want a kind of rough look. I don't know if that's the right word. And that's why I'm allowing the different shades of gray. Hello, hello, Stephanie. Stephanie Connors has entered the room. I'm doing fine. And boy, have I got some projects in mind for you guys. And ideas. Okay. Now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my gray in from the side. And this is where you need to decide where you want your shine to be on your bells. So I thought just for something different, I'm going to go ahead and put my shine down the middle. And as soon as I find my little Mono Tombow eraser, zoom in. We'll go ahead and do that. Now, I hadn't really decided where my shine was going to be. If you know for a fact where you want your shine to be, then just color accordingly. So if I were going to make my shine on the left-hand side, I would have colored open my white or lighter area on the left and not bothered with the erasing. Honestly, guys, I don't care how you get there, as long as the result looks good. Now, when I say I don't care how you get there, what I'm saying is I don't care what method you use. Different people are going to use different methods. Okay, so I'm going to pop in just a little more, a darker gray here. And just like everything else that I've shown you, I'm doing a light, a medium, and a dark gray, right? Now, if your shine area is a little too white, then you take your lightest gray and dull it up a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a very dark gray I used my blender pencil earlier. Very lightly on the side. Rhonda, she got her Forest Girls coloring book and her 12 package of Mark Art colored charcoal pencils. Oh, Rhonda's on a tear. Can't wait to experiment. Oh, music with the charcoals. And now I'm going to take a very dark pencil, zoom in. I've created a monster in Rhonda. And on the very, very edge of the bells, I'm going to go ahead and put my darker gray. And notice how I'm doing that is I'm just going ahead and going over the lines that the artist put in. Rhonda, what you're saying is music to my ears, and the word that's making me excited for you is experiment. Okay, now on the rim, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my edges a little bit. Oh, snap that point. So again, guys, I don't care what coloring technique that you use to get yourself, zoom out, to get to where you want to be with your coloring. You say tomato, I say tomato. Now I've got my lightest gray here. I'm just going to use that just to soften up my bells. Zoom out. And right now these bells look a little bit like they're overcolored, but by the time we get our other stuff in here, it's going to balance out. I made the bells look a very rich silver. Now let's talk about that a second. If you don't want the silver to be as pronounced, you can make it a lighter silver. That's okay too. Hello, Dorothy. Dorothy Turnblad is in the room. Zoom in. And don't forget on your ring here, you want to go ahead and darken on the inside of your ring to give that a little bit of shadow, right? There you go. Now that ring looks dimensional. Dorothy, are you going to tell us about your surgery this week? You said you had to go to the hospital for a little bit. Are you ready to tell us? Now, I'm taking my darkest gray and I'm going over the lines of the surrounding rim. And that's going to create some contrast as well. I think I've created a monster in Rhonda now. All right, let's take a look at this. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay. Oh, I know what those are for. Okay. Hold on, I just gotta move a couple things around. There we go. All right. So here's what we have on our sled so far. And I posted in our group the picture of the old-fashioned sled. And one of the colors was this brownish goldish color. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the runners silver. Silver bells. And I see I missed a color here. Hold on. Let me fix something. zoom in, zoom in. So the top of my sled is my reddish brown. This is the runners and the metal part. There you go. Zoom out. Okay. So the bottom part of the runners, I decided I'm going to make silver. Now, on the picture, the old-fashioned picture that I looked at, they carried the color of the steel, this reddish color all the way around, but I don't want to do that. And this is where your discretion comes in as to what you want to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in some silver. Zoom in. Zoom in. And this is where your pencil has to be very sharp. You hear me sharpening my pencils quite a bit? There's a reason. Dorothy, you okay? So I'm going ahead and putting my silver in. On the runner. And that's my lightest silver color. And then I'm going to get my medium. I lied. I'm going to get my dark. And I'm going to slide you back up. Oh, looks like I missed a little bit of the runner. Hold on, let me find it right. No, I missed a little bit of the brown. Ha-ha. Hee-hee, hoo-hoo. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to take my darkest silver, which is gray, and I'm going to go ahead and work it towards the outside. And you really want to try and get all your little teeny tiny areas if you can. Because what's really funny is when we go to color the greenery, it's really going to show if you missed. So I'm concentrating near the edges, but it's okay if that gray runs over a little bit. You can see the lines. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with my medium gray. Now, I don't want you to panic and say, oh my gosh, did ILene say to use the medium here or the dark here or whatever? Look, whatever method you develop to create the end result and works for you is what you need to do. So I'm going to use my medium gray now inside, and I'm basically using it as a blender pencil. It's going to take a little bit of that harshness of my light gray. Hi, Linda. Linda Hirschenroder is here. And I'm just going to blend that in. Okay. Does everybody understand what I'm saying about the method for coloring this? Linda says, hi guys. Okay. Now, I got over the edge a little bit, so I'm just going to tidy that up. With my electric eraser. Linda, have you been behaving yourself? Oh, and what I started to say earlier, you guys have been going nuts over that scar that I did on the pirate. That's where I'm getting the most comments. Zoom out. You've been too quiet? How come? Now I'm going to blend my grays together gently. Just a little bit, because I want a more uniform gray here. So I've got my 3 tones in there, but I just want them to play well with each other a little better. And you might say, well, ILene, why bother to put the 3 grays in if you're going to blend them? Well, because when you blend the 3 colors, they create a beautiful end result. Okay, so what you want to do now, Sandy, you said I used my slice knife on the sleigh. How do I get these slices to show up? You take a water-based marker and now go over the top of those slices. And you want to use a light marker. Oh, Linda, you've lost your energy. It happens sometimes. Enjoying the group, though. Okay. Linda, sit back, relax. And what will happen, Sandy, is now your water-based markers will go into the crevices that you cut into the paper. Oh man, this looks good. Zoom out. Well, Linda, we're here just for people just to sit back and relax. All right. Now, I'm going to leave this sled sit for a minute, and I'm going to start working on the greenery because I want to start getting that balance. Dorothy, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but you said that you were going to tell us, you said you had a little bit of surgery. And you were going to tell us on Friday? All right, so I'm going to do my poinsettia. Zoom in. Just because I feel like doing it. Let me pull some colors. Let me pull some colors. Okay guys, how many colors am I going to pull? Or how many pencils in the color group am I going to pull? Three, says Rhonda. Yep. Thank you, Rhonda. Now, I don't care what order that you put them in. It's up to you. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to go with a pinkish red. Okay, Dorothy said I had a hysterectomy, cancer. Hopefully they got it all, just resting and feeling a little better today. Dorothy, thank you for telling us and sharing.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No, Siri, thank you.
No problem.
Oh my. Dorothy, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to pray for you. We love having you in the group and we want you to get better. Excuse me, I got to sneeze first. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Lord God, in the holy name of Jesus Christ, we pray rapid healing for Dorothy. She just went through a hysterectomy because of cancer issues. And we are resting in you that they got it all. Lord God, I ask you to keep Dorothy strong, both physically and mentally. And I ask you to heal her rapidly and correctly. Lord God, cancer is an evil disease of this world, and we rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ. Lord God, I thank you that Dorothy can be here today, that she can sit back and relax and watch and enjoy her time with us. And that she will enjoy the loving embrace of this group. Lord God, again, help her heal quickly. Keep her strong. In the holy name of Jesus Christ, amen. Dorothy, thank you for letting us know. We are behind you, Dorothy. Please keep us posted on how you're feeling. And I mean that. You are welcome very much. Okay, so I'm going to change up a little bit. I'm starting out with my light pencil. And we'll go ahead and get this shaded in. Well, Dorothy, doggone it, we're all pulling for you. Dorothy, are you in any pain right now, or are you resting comfortably? Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind in this particular coloring that we're going after an old-fashioned look. So that means we're not going to use a lot of bright, flashy colors. So we're going for the more subdued colors. And this is why I'm using this lighter pink. I'm not going with a robust red. Okay, a little hard to see here where we... Okay, and I'm going to assume that we've got poinsettias behind here. Anybody have any questions about my color selection so far? Zoom out. Welcome to all our new members. And don't forget, if you're watching for the first time, don't hesitate to say hello or chat. Okay. Oh, this is just lovely. Just lovely. Zoom in. Da-da-da-dum. All right, let me sharpen. Oh, okay, so Dorothy says I started coloring today, but just the mandala. They don't take so much concentration as other pictures. Oh, exactly, Dorothy. Yeah, exactly. Well, Angela, doggone it, where were you? She said she just realized the time I was up a bit later today. Ha! Good to see you, sweetie. Okay, so there's my light color. So Angela said she's just sitting and coloring. I didn't get up till nearly 9. Yeah. And remember, everybody, she's in Australia. All right, here's my medium color now. I don't want to do that. I don't want to use my medium. Hold on. I want to use my dark. Now, again, I don't care what order you use your pencils in. And I know that it gets a little wonky looking, but if you know where you're going with this, it shouldn't be too much trouble. And notice how I'm bringing in this darker color a little bit to shade this. I'm going to leave those center vines open for a second because I'm going to do something with them. Oop. And yes, my paper towel keeps flying across because I have a fan to keep me cool in my studio, which is in the second story. And I can't really run my air conditioner because of the background noise. Now, what do I tell you on coloring? Remember that color it like you're coloring grayscale, right? And I know this looks messy right now, but when we get to blending this, oh my gosh, it's going to look wonderful. So I've got my dark color here that I'm using. So Angela, you like that little joke I sent you about the Australian sheepdog? I saw that and immediately thought of you. I sent Angela a little funny. It was showing a picture of a dog sitting next to a wall, and the wall had a hole in it like the size of a head, and then it cracked up, you know. And the caption said, "Get an Australian sheepdog. You'll love it," they said. And as soon as I saw that, I decided to send that to her. So this is my light and my dark. And I want you to think grayscale. Where would some of the highlighting be and the shading be? Oh, Angela said we had cattle dogs. Same thing though. Yeah, they're massive. Their girth is massive and they're strong. Okay, so there's my light, there's my dark, right? And now I'm going to come in with my medium color. And we're going to blend those puppies together. Zoom in. And look how pretty that looks, guys. So my medium color, in effect, is becoming my what? My blender pencil. And I'm blending right over my dark lines, merging them in. And then I've got this lighter section down the middle. All right, let me turn this. So the normal assumption is the darker color is to the outside because we want to give that sense of dimension and depth. And I'm blending in with my now medium color. And that's starting to create my different color schemes. Zoom out. Zoom out. And I'll be softening this up in a minute. And notice that I'm using a different design for each leaf. Don't get repetitive. Angela, how heavy do those cattle dogs get? I'm thinking what, 80 pounds maybe? Welcome to everybody that's popping in. Welcome to my lurkers who don't show up in the room but are there. Okay, see how I brought in my red just a little bit? Zoom in. Zoom in. See, I just squiggled in that red a little bit just to give it some personality. And now I'm coming in with my medium color and blending everything together. Notice on this one, I'm leaving that white down the center. I'm sorry, not white, it's the lighter pink. That's my light pink color. And again, this is my medium color now that I'm coming in. I did my light color. I did my dark where I felt my shading would be. And I'm coming in with my medium now to blend it all together. All right. Angela said, don't know, we had a mixed breed dog and a Kelpie, which is an Australian cattle dog. He was quite lightweight. Okay. Now, do you keep your cattle dogs inside, or do they go out, sleep outside, or... Or did you just have the breed of cattle dog? Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. All right, my pretties. And then this is where now, zoom in. I'm using my white pencil, Prismacolor. And I'm popping in now my lighter shades in the center. And I'm going a little bit to the outside to smooth out all my roughness of my pencil. ILene, do I go over it once for the slices to show up? I must be doing something wrong. No, if you have to, depending on what color, watercolor, excuse me, alcohol-based, all right, we'll try this again. Water-based marker that you picked up, you can go over it multiple times. You may have to go with a slightly darker marker, water-based. Did you put your cuts in the paper before or after you laid your color down? It needs to be before you put any pencil on there, because that wax is going to fill it in. Angela, that reminds me, I'll comment later on your fish that you posted. It's a blending issue, sweetie. Your lighter color, well, okay. You can't use dark water-based markers on there. You have to experiment to see what works, because if you use too dark, it won't show up. So what I want you to do is get a piece of cardstock. I'm going to assume that's what you're using. Put some slices in it and experiment with your water-based marker. Okay. Angela, I'm going to do something on my end and tell me if it changes. Is anybody else having any problem with hearing everything that I'm saying? Pearl, you're having problems? Rhonda is not. Okay. I have a little desk fan, and I'm wondering if the sound... Okay, Sandy says no. Don't know why the problem's tonight. I don't know if the fan is interfering with the things that I'm saying. So let me adjust a couple things. Angela, let me know if that's any better. Yeah, you guys need to let me know if there's any problems, and I'll see what I can adjust on this end. Okay. So let me go back now to my dark. Okay, Sandy, you got to go up into files. And Dawn has put a file folder there. Click on files, and then you'll see a file for the turtle contest. So I've turned my desk fan off, and hopefully there shouldn't be any more problems. Hi, Sarah. Let me know, Angela. Oh, Angela says this problem only started yesterday. It's been okay before that. Yeah, okay, then it's not me because I've had this fan on like all week. I'm thinking it may be then your internet connection. Because what it does is it tries to keep caught up with the streaming. It's like the recording has hiccups, yeah. Well, that's sucky. Okay, dark colors, right? Edges. And some of my pattern on the inside of, yeah, I won't. We're good. I won't pass out. And honestly, it's mostly humidity that's the problem. Yeah, Angela, it's not me, sweetie. Zoom out. Okay, so here's where we're looking a little wonky, right? Zoom in. Angela, it could be your bandwidth, something changed. All right, dark color here. Oh, went around the outside here. So you replayed yesterday's video and it was fine on replay. Oh, okay, so see, that's something with your streaming. That is weird. What changed a couple days ago with you? Did you change something? Maybe change a setting? Okay, so now I'm going to take my medium pink. Remember when I was doing the grayscale, guys? And we would do the different areas where the light, the medium, and the dark was? That's what I'm doing here. And now I'm going over this with my medium, and that's blending everything. And do you guys notice now how this is getting softer and softer because of all the blending that I'm doing? And both iPads are acting the same. Yeah, I always listen to the to my broadcast, not the whole thing, of course, but I check it for quality when I'm uploading to YouTube. Okay, so I'm cleaning off my ribbon here because I got a little bit of my pink on it. And obviously I wiped out a little bit of my pink, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that back. Well, Angela, the fact that it was clear on the replay tells me, you know, my output is okay. So that's good to know. I didn't notice any interruptions either. Okay, don't wipe with your finger like I just did. All right, zoom out. Zoom out. Now, if you notice that you've got a roughness in your colors, in this case, I'm taking my lightest color and I'm blending out any weird spots. And I can't say this enough, guys, your blending has got to be smooth. And I don't want you to be afraid of going over your previous color with your pencils, because it does not wipe out the color. I mean, obviously you have to be careful. And it depends on what pencils you use. But right now I'm going over the entire leaves with my lightest pink. And that's smoothing out anything that's looking rough. Do not be afraid of your blending. Now, don't obliterate your work, obviously. But don't be afraid of your blending. Okay. Angela, have you rebooted your iPads? Okie dokie smoky. We are getting there. And again, you guys know I like to take my time. So Angela says there's a long pause now. It's not coming back on now. And then it's back. I don't know how much longer I could take this. Oh, Angela. I honestly don't know what to tell you, because I'm not getting any of that broadcasting comment from anybody else. Angela, have you checked with your provider and checked your bandwidth? I was having problem with stuttering as well, and I changed I had to change my bandwidth. Okay, Sandy, at the top of the group is a folder. Let me get in there so I can walk you through it exactly. So you go to the very top, you go to the very top, Sandy, you'll see it says rooms, announcements, topics, photos, events, files, albums, guides. Click on albums, and then you'll see a listing that says duet coloring event, 6 items at the moment. Click on that. Exactly. Sometimes when it storms, Wi-Fi can go in and out. Okay. So I'm going to tidy up. Now, on some poinsettias, you will see, you will see you can put a little description if you want and just say for the contest, but your name will automatically be on it when you post. Just post it and we'll see it. Zoom in. No storms here. But it depends where your provider is. They may be having problems. So in other words, it may not be local to you, it may be local to your provider. So I'm putting a little bit of green. In the center of the plant. And I know that looks weird. Or no, it sounds weird, but when you put it in, it looks pretty cool. Sandy DeSanto says, Angela, mine does it at times too. Your provider, Angela, may be hundreds of miles away and they may be having problems on their end. I've had complete outages here when the weather's been just fine, and it was something to do with my provider. Angela, reboot your router and your modem. Would somebody please type that into the screen for Angela to see so she can read it? ILene says, reboot your router and your modem. Angela, just turn them off. It'll disconnect everything. Just turn them off. Go over to your router and your modem. They have on-off buttons. And wait about 15-20 seconds or a minute, and then turn them back on. Zoom out. Okay, so see the little green veins in there. Now, you don't have to add the veins. Thank you, Sandy. And I'm just going to use my finger and push that around a little bit. Now, everybody notice how I have a very soft color on these poinsettias. Hold on while I brush this. Zoom out. You take a look. I'm going to get some water. Everybody see how these poinsettias are looking now? Okay. Now what I'm going to do now, and this is where it's going to look wonky, or sound wonky, is I'm taking a medium gray, zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to take a medium gray, and I'm going to go around the edges of the poinsettias. And what that is going to do is that's going to give it a vintage coloring. Because if you think about vintage photos, they have that grayish look. Do a search on Google for vintage Christmas, and you'll see what I mean. Now, it's going to drive you nuts to do this because you're going to say, oh my gosh, I just put these pretty colors on my pages. Okay, Angela says we have Telstra, NBB, National Broadcast. Alan doesn't know either. He's on his computer not having problems. I'll go and see if my computer can pick it up better. Okay. Angela, I don't know how old your iPads are, but it also may be a processing. Don't know. Okay, everybody see how I'm adding this tint of gray? Now the reason that I'm using this medium gray is because I don't want you to see the gray when I'm putting it on the coloring. I want you to see the more vintage reddish pink. So in looking at this picture, you wouldn't know how I did it with the gray. All you're going to know is that we've got some gray on here. I'm sorry, I misspoke. You're not going to know that you have the gray. All you're going to know is that it looks a little bit darker. Excuse me, I completely misspoke because I'm thinking about this gray. Oh, how pretty is that? Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, it's still going to look a little wonky because I've got this poinsettia looking a little darker, and I don't have anything to offset it. So we'll work on that. Okay. Silver bells. I can't help singing that. Zoom out. Let's look at this whole thing for a minute. Do you guys see how this is starting to come together? Okay. Da-da-dum. Da-dum. And guys, how's the music level tonight? We good on that? I don't want it bothering anybody. Woo-hoo. Oh man, this is so pretty. All right, let's play with a little bit of the greenery. I see those hearts, thank you. Poor Rhonda, she's trying to color and I keep asking her asking questions. Okay, let's play. We always play. Play, play, play. Okay, now I'm going to stick with pencils. I would prefer to do markers because I've got that little teeny tiny, you know, end that Ronnie reminded me to use. Oh man, that was so funny. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. So let me start on this little piece here. And did you guys remember that those cheapy little pencil sharpeners work beautifully to get a really sharp point, needle sharp point? I buy them in bulk from Amazon. You could kill somebody with that point. All right, so let's go ahead and get our greens in. I've got a nice light green. Okay, Angela says she's got the computer on now. It's the iPad reception. The computer seems okay, but the computer is a couple of words behind. Okay, it happens, the iPad. I need different glasses to watch computer, and my coloring stuff is in the other room. Your iPad may not be able to handle the bandwidth. I don't know how old your iPads are. Okay, so I've used this very, very light green. Now I'm just going to show you on a few of the, well, on a little bit of range of these needles here so you can see what I'm doing. And now I've got another green, which is a medium green. Could be your iPads. Okay, everybody see how I'm adding the different colors of greens. Now that really light green looks hideous at the moment. Oh, broke my point. And then I'm going to get a dark green. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And I want you to notice that the greens that I'm using are what I call vintage style greens. They're like dullish green. This one is called Terra Verde, and it's like a, see how dull of a green that is? Zoom in. Khaki green maybe. Da-da-da. Rhonda says kind of a light olive green with gray undertones would be good. You listen to, you go girl. I would not have expected that insight out of you a couple months ago. My gosh. Now I'm going to take this last green and I'm going to very lightly go over my first green, which is my very light, almost fluorescent, because I want to tone it down a little bit. That's right, Rhonda. Good teachers do that. You're exactly right. And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Now, I want you to notice something about this. These greens here, they've got some spaces in between because the pine needles on this particular drawing are spaced out. If you don't want to keep that spacing, go ahead and put your green in there and just literally fill it in. Well, Rhonda, I look at the postings of people that are in my group because I want to get an idea of whether they're improving or not, and whether they're listening to what I tell them. And the reason that I've enjoyed watching you is because you are definitely improving. And you listen to what I tell you. And you don't what's the word I want? Oops. You don't blindly mimic what I do. You mimic up to the point that you've learned the method, and then you take it off in your own direction. And that's exactly what I want. Maddie told me one time, you guys saw the posting, that she can tell when, she can tell when it's an ILene Vick coloring because of my style. Well, you guys are not coloring your style, my style. You're coloring your style. Now, notice that I'm using this khaki green. Oops, that's not my khaki green. As a stem up the center. And also keep in mind that that really bright green that I put on there in the beginning, I'm layering that. So I'm covering it with another green. And that brings out a unique color. Well, guys, I want you to understand, if you post in this group, I'm going to, now, I can't get to everybody, but I try to comment as much as I can. And if that bugs you, it's really not, this is not the group for you. Again, I don't want you to copy me. I want you to understand the process and make it your own style. Right, and as Sandy says, we are not learning unless we make it our style from what we learn from you. Exactly, Sandy. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to keep jerking around here. Again, I'm going to go over that fluorescent green with my other greens, either my darkest green, my khaki green, or my medium green, to tone it down a little bit, but its personality still comes through, and that's where you get your unique colors. Da, 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 da. And I'm going to pull out in a second to show you how this is starting to really look vintage. And guys, if you booger it up and make a mistake, or end up getting something that you didn't expect, push through it and finish it. Now, if it annoys you, walk away from it for a while and then go back and finish it. Failure is not failure until you give up. Remember that posting that I just did? Okay, so here's my really light green. Now, notice that I'm doing a majority of the needles this lighter green, because, why? Because I want that difference. Okay? It'll be similar, but it'll be different. Okay, medium green. Over some of this. And then my khaki green over the rest of it. And remember, I'm using what? Light, medium, and dark greens, right? Now, if you don't want to do your pine needles in these different shades of colors, don't. Oops, too far. Oh, I keep breaking my tips because I'm pushing too hard. Quit. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at the different now that you're not seeing a close-up in your face, in your eyeballs. How those greens look with the multiple colors. Like or don't like? And would you have thought to do this yourself with the different greens? Okay, zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, Rhonda says no. And again, you don't have to use such a vibrant green as one of your greens. You can use a different green. Now, the other thing that I could have done is I could have done a darker color at the base of each needle and come out with a lighter color. Zoom in. Okay, now you're going to get a real close-up here. Let me find out where I am. I'm right there. Okay. So I could have done a darker green at the bases and come out with the lighter green and blend it out that way. See? So do you see that difference? So here's my medium green. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom in. I'm going to put a little bit of my medium green on top of that khaki green. Remember, we want shades of green here. At least I do. That's what I'm doing. Now, do you see how I left the little yellow tips on here? You can do that as well. This is why I don't want you to follow me like little mindless lemmings. When I show you a technique, make it your own. Right? Okay. Now, on this set, of Greenery, I'm just going to use my medium green and my dark. Take your time, hit those little spots. See those, oh my gosh, see those teeny tiny spots right here in between these two lines? Oh man. Okay, medium green. And then I'm going to come back in with my khaki. Now, I decided that all khaki was too dark on that main part of the thistle. I'm sorry, of the greenery, so I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of my medium green. And I'm going to do that over here. See this right here? I made that this whole thing the khaki color. I'm just going to hit a little bit of medium green on that khaki. That's just a mid-course adjustment. Nothing wrong with adjustments, guys. Oh. You guys have got to be willing to adjust your coloring as the picture dictates. Now, when I color, I have a general idea in mind what I want, and then I let my creativity go from there. So I want to say I have 70% of where I want to be, 30% of having the picture then turn around and change, dictate any changes. Now I'm going to put my little splotches of khaki on here in my darker areas. And if you think that this is tedious, you need to rethink about your coloring, because this is what coloring is all about. Zoom out. Zoom out. Sandy says sometimes she has to stare at a picture and think sometimes. Of course, exactly. That's exactly what I do. Now, I'm going to take my lightest green and pop in a little bit of color of the light on top. Zoom in. Zoom in. Khaki. K-H-A-K-I. Khaki. Now, watch when I put this brighter green on top of the dark. See how that just highlights it a little bit? I just want to kick in a little bit of color there, not much. So this is where I chose not to put my greens in there, but I went my light green, but then I went back and I put a little bit on the top to kick up the green. Boop. And you can do that in different areas. So over here where I made some very light green as some of my color of my leaves, I'm coming back and now I'm putting it on top of my khaki and my darker green. See, that's where you get your variance of color. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, I'm singing Silver Bells. I can't help it. Silver bells, silver bells, soon it will be Christmas Day. Guys, are you picking up about the different ways I'm using this light green, both as independent color and also on top of the darks just to kick it up a little bit? Okay, I'm going to do a couple more of my pine needles so that I have enough that I can play around with my berries. Zoom in. Zoom in. And again, you can do the whole needle, the one color, or you can shade it two different colors, each needle, which would look extremely cool. It really would. So don't roll your eyes at me about using two colors on these needles. It would look good. Zoom in. I'm going to show you something else on another needle here in a minute. Okay, so I've got my darks. And I'm going to come back with my, I'll just call this my fluorescent green. And I'm going to go over the top. It's kind of like, you know how Helen will come in and say, put yellow on top of that? It'll make it look cool. Same idea. And not only that, but it's blending your colors. There we go. Oh man, is that looking good? You go, girl. Okay. Let me show you another way that you can color these needles. Zoom in. All right, let me see if I can, there we go. Okay, so you can come in with your medium green. See how I'm doing that? Oh, let me get there. I'm so close up. And then I'm coming in with my khaki green on top of it, just a little bit in the center. See that? So the ends are the lighter green and then the khaki green goes in the center. There's another option for you. Now, I can go the opposite, is use my khaki green. Am I driving you guys nuts? And then come back with my lighter green just in the center as a highlight. See it? So if you're looking at this, you can see the darker green at both ends and my lighter green in the center. So there are like tons of ways that you can play with this. And the whole idea is I'm not changing my greens, I'm just changing the way that I'm applying them. So I'm going to do my whole green here in my khaki. Hi, Wanda. Wandy. Okay, so that's my entire leaf in my khaki. And now what I'm going to do, not leaf, is I'm just going to use my light green in the center third. Everybody clear on that? Zoom out. Doing great. Oh, look, I completely missed one. There you go. Your girl looks great, Wanda. Zoom out. Everybody see how this one turned out now by doing that? Khaki color on top, light green on the center third. Okay. Zoom in. So I'm getting into my little in-between greens here. Don't blow them off. Don't get stupid with it. Keep up the way that you're coloring. Pine needles. That's what I was trying to say. The needle, not the leaf. Hello, Jean. Miss Jean. Good to see you, sweets. Wanda said, thanks, ILene. It was a challenge working with a grayscale from a watercolor picture. Yeah. Well, Wanda, whether you get the cover or not, you're still a winner with it. Okay, so let's get these little needles in between. Angela Johnson says, haven't seen that one. Khaki, what brand is that one? Love that song, Silver Bells. Khaki is a type of green. Jean says she's here and alive and kicking. Good. You kick, girl. You kick. Okay, I'm going to do one more set. And then we'll look at these berries. Actually, two more sets, and then we're going to look at the berries. Now, since you're working with different ways to do your greenery, that I've shown you, what, 3 different ways now, at least? Be sure that as you rotate around your wreath here, that whatever method you used in one area, you at least use 1 or 2 times in another area. How's Marilyn doing, Wanda? I'm sorry, Jean. Got Wanda on the brain. Jean, are you getting better? Everybody see why I am suggesting that you use the same method on a different part? You want that for your balance of your whole piece. And one of the constant comments that I get from people that watch my broadcasts and my tutorials, Mom is doing fine. Yes, slowly but surely. Okay, good. Excellent. Jean, don't you just ever just disappear on us, okay? Please keep us informed on how you're doing. Now, I've shown you different ways on doing these needles on this one picture, and that's fine, but you'll probably want to stick with one method all the way around for consistency. Although, great, Jean says I won't disappear on the family. Yeah, don't ever do that, Jean. I mean it. Say hello to Marilyn for us, of course, your mom. So, Jean, have you been able to watch the broadcast, even though you haven't been in the room? Zoom out. Stacy. How's your grandfather doing? How's Kenneth doing? Tell me some good news about Kenneth. Okay, so Jean says that she watches some nights when she feels good that day. Okay, yeah, Jean, you don't have to comment. We just would love to have you, you know, just chill out and watch and relax. Uh-oh, Stacy says it's been a long few days. What's going on, Stace? I know your grandfather was in the hospital overnight for observation when he fell down the stairs. He had a defibrillator put in today? Oh my gosh. Really? So what, he passed out and fell down the stairs? Okay, so I'm taking my darkest green. Oh. How's Gina doing? How's your grandma doing? She doing okay with all this? I am so glad. I am so glad that the doctors kept him that extra day to find out what the heck was going on. How's Gina handling all this? Okay, yes, she is doing better. Okay. Yeah, Wanda says I worked with a girl that had a defibrillator and a pacemaker. Okay, Stacy, explain better with Gina. What does that mean? Did she have something happen with her? Okay, now I want you to notice, zoom in. Zoom in. If you want to on this greenery, you can also just color it in almost as a solid element. Up to you, or you can color the individual needles. So define better, like better from what? And thank you, God, for the doctors finding out what was going on with Kenneth. And their wisdom to keep Kenneth in to find out exactly why he passed out. Okay, well, they wanted to do a heart cath, right? And he said no at first and then agreed. Okay. He has a pacemaker defibrillator with 3 wires instead of just 2. Okay, because she was, all right, so Gina was lost at first and worried. Okay. I am so glad that you brought her on last night, and we were able to talk and joke with her. Is she there now? Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Greta, yep. I'm sorry, what was I calling her? Sorry. Is Greta with you now? Okay, guys, look at the screen. Zoom out. Oh, she isn't with you. I'm needing some mind decompression. Okay. Oh, Stace. So glad they caught it. Promise me that you will tell Greta that we said hello. All right, now notice is you can go back now and just color like you normally would a dark, you know, if you're coloring a leaf and you were going to do the center and come up with the shading, you can go ahead and shade it like you would a normal leaf. Oh, I know, Stacy. You've had this here and then the stuff back in Oklahoma with your ex. How is he doing? So Angela says, wow, that's awesome what the doctors can do these days. My dad died over 50 years ago from a heart attack. They maybe could have fixed these days. Yes, ma'am. Promise, please, that you would tell Greta that we asked after her. And Kenneth, of course, but her too. All right, guys, what do you think? How's your ex-husband doing, Stacy? Okay. Well, apparently he got worse and his wife took him back, but the hospital was full and he couldn't stay. You have got to be kidding. They didn't take him to a different hospital? Why was it full? COVID? What do you guys think of the greenery? Look at the dimension, guys. Isn't that cool? Now, like I said, you can do it with different methods. Dawson is finally going to see him tomorrow. So please keep him in your prayers. Angela says looking awesome. Sandy says looking good. Angela says looking awesome. Can't hardly wait for my book to come. All right. So I've shown you different ways of doing these needles. I was able to get away with doing it different ways because it'll look good. Like I said, you can do everything the same way if you want. So if you color it with one method like I showed you over here, you can do it all the way around. Is that confusing anybody? I'm having too much fun with this. I am. Now remember, we want darker muted colors because we're doing this, what? Vintage style. I have no idea what these little hangy things are. I'll have to figure that out. So Stacy says, yes, but I don't know all the story. We are also dealing with a much younger wife that doesn't have the same concepts about priorities as do most. And I'm not being a bitter ex by saying that. Oh, I understand. Okay, Stacy, you've got to get yourself centered with all this and not be expanding your emotional capital as these things are happening. I understand that we all have feelings. But you can't let them wear you down like this. Dawson doesn't handle these kinds of things very well. I'm concerned because what happens to him affects my boys. I got it. I get it. Angela, are they the arms of the chair? What are we talking about, Angela? Well, I'm hoping that your boys are faith-based and that will help them through this. Okay. The thing the floral wreath is sitting on. It's a sled, Jean. Yes, it's a sled. These are the steering arms that are coming out. This is the front. This is the body right here. And then the two wood pieces. The body right here and then the two wood pieces. It's a sled. Zoom out. Yeah, Stacy, the best advice I could give you right now is to be there for your boys. Be a rock for them. Oh yeah, I had one of these when I was little, and I sledded into a tree with it. My dad went nuts. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. That's all you can do, Stace, is to be there for them and be their rock. There you go. Train up a child the way he should go, and he will return. That's right. Okay. Zoom in. I'm going to get one of my narrowest pens, and I'm going to put a little swirly doohickey right there. See that? Because it was missing. And I'm just going to check for any other ones that don't have it. I'll put a little swirly doohickey right here. Let's see if anybody else is missing anything. Do you love my phrase for that? It's a swirly doohickey. And if some of these look a little light to you, you can just go ahead and touch it up with your pen. Okay. Although actually, I gotta laugh at myself. Because of what I'm going to do with this, it isn't going to make a difference. But that's okay, it may make a difference to you. Zoom out. So draw in your little doohickeys as you need. I will tell you that doohickey is an authentic coloring word. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's right, Stacy. Watch out, Color World. I've got my pen. Which also reminds me, I'm going to add, watch this. Much better. And if you're not sure where to add your lines, look at another coloring book where the artist has added the little swirls. Look at that. Doesn't it look a lot better? Yes, it does. Let me put a little swirly in there too. Now, come on, guys. Don't these additions make it look better? Yes or no? Good grief. And I'm going to put a little one in the center right there. Stacy says, I knew it. I knew you were going to add it to the bow. Yes, ma'am. Tons better, guys. Okay. Much better. Put a little one there too. Now tell me, would you guys have done this with your bow? In all honesty. I ask you this for specific reasons. Zoom out. Yeah, it was looking a little naked. And naked. It was looking naked. Pearly, good night. I'm sorry I missed when you were saying good night. Good night. Good night. All you have to do is look in other coloring books to see how they do it and emulate that. Okay, let's get some berries done here. So the berries are going to be red berries. Stacy said I was going to say naked, but I didn't know if it would come across right. Stacy, are you doing okay? We love ya. Decompress with us in the room here. Get your mind off of stuff. You say naked, I say naked, tomato, tomato. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm adding this base color because of what I'm going to be doing. Well, Stacy, I'm so glad that you turned to the group to come in when you were feeling like you needed to decompress. We believe in equal opportunity abuse here. Okay, everybody see these? Boy, these look cool with pink. Well, doggone. Okay. Dang, that looks good. Zoom out. Now, notice that I didn't run the pink all the way to the edges. It doesn't matter because of what I'm doing here. All right. So, Stacy, you missed this earlier. I got a 30 set of liquid pearls. Because of people contributing to the group. So I got this for us. And a couple people were asking me what the heck liquid pearls were. So I'm going to show you. I am going to show you. So let me pull out some colors. Oh, I am so excited with these liquid pearls. I love them. I so appreciate you guys when you do this. Like I said, Amazon, you can do $1 if you so wish. If not, I will do what I can to get the stuff. Oh, thump. Zoom out. Hold on to your wallets. By the way, this reminded me, if you go to Sam's here in the US, Sam's is stocking before Christmas this old-fashioned hand-dipped peanut brittle. It is the best. It breaks easily, so it's very pleasant to eat. And I will have you know that Vicky absolutely loves, you know how dogs love peanut butter? She loves this peanut brittle, of course. Okay, let's talk about what liquid pearls are. Zoom in. Liquid pearls are kind of, it's like a colored goop. It's a glue, goopy glue with color. Zoom in. Yes, it's peanut brittle. Angela says, stop it, I'm trying to lose weight. Ha. So I'm going to use these liquid pearls in 2 spots for you. I've got to go back and look for something here. Poinsettias. Because I want to show you this because this is really cool. So if I run over, it'll be 5 or 10 minutes, maybe, if that. La-da-da-dum, la-da-da-dum. All right. Zoom in. So what you do with liquid pearls is you put it on the area that you want to color. Hold on, I gotta get my toothpick out. I'm telling you guys, if you have a Sam's, please pick up that peanut brittle. It is out of this world. I mean, it doesn't, you know how some peanut brittle is extremely hard? Okay, now, I'll show you this in a minute because it's pretty cool. And I'm going to use a couple colors because I want the variety. This is a coral color. And what this stuff does is it comes out thick. Now, if you're putting it in a circle like I am, I'm poking it in the center just to push it outward a little bit. Zoom in. Zoom in. Come on, zoom in. All right, Annie, knock it off. So I'm just going to mess with it a little bit, enough just to expand it out to the edges. And you deliberately want it to goop on top like this. Give Annie some peanut brittle and she might cooperate. Heck no, that's my peanut brittle. Now, I'll explain what this liquid pearl does in a minute. Now, if you can help it, it's going to be, oh my gosh, you gotta stay on camera. Shoot. It forms like a little rubber dot in the application site where you're putting it. And it's really cool because what it does is, oh, here's a good way to explain it. It's like Braille. When this stuff dries, it dries into elevated bumps. That's shiny and has a pretty color. Now, it gets little peaks on it while you're putting this stuff on. Because it's like a little bit of a goop. And what you need to do, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. See, now it works. What you need to do is you need to take your finger, see, like this, you know, and just snap with your finger and very, very lightly zoom out, snap your paper. And what it does is it causes that liquid pearl to flatten out those little peaks. Does that make sense? Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And what I do is I just move my applicator up and down a little bit while I'm gently squeezing. Yeah, we did pick a good page for the pearls. See how I'm doing that? And I'm gently bouncing my applicator up and down a little bit. Trust me, you'll get a feel for it. And God forgive me, I hate to say this, but it's like you want to make little boobies on here with nipples. There goes my G rating on my YouTube. See how I'm bouncing that up and down? And you're going to see why this looks cool. Now bear with me here. But wait, there's more. Now, be warned that the different colors can sometimes have different consistencies. Okay, let me get over here. See how I'm gently moving the applicator up and down as I'm doing this? Okay, let me get here. Hold on. Gotta find a good, there you go, here's a good one. You see how I'm moving my applicator just gently up and down? Because I'm forming that dot. And I smeared one of them. Let's see if I can fix that. I got my hand into this one, so I'm just going to push it back over. And I also got pink on this outside. Oh well. I'll deal with that later. Okay. So again, I'm just gently moving up and down just a teeny tiny bit. To get that applicated. So in other words, you want this stuff to be bumps. You're making little bumps. Now my red is a little bit runnier than my peach. That's fine. Just be aware that that can happen. But you'll get the hang of it. It's like you're dispensing honey. How about that? Is that a good analogy? Okay. Now, I've got two of these red colors side by side. I deliberately let them mingle. But the idea is you are creating bumps. On your page. Dimensional bumps. So if we had a pearl necklace that we were doing, I would go ahead and put these on that pearl necklace. And because of the shininess of this, it would look really cool. Now, if you don't rush it, I'm rushing it. If you let your one color, you should, let me say this. You should put your one color on and let it dry. And then go ahead and put your second color on, and you won't have your merging together problem. So I want you to absolutely keep that in mind. But the neat thing is I'm putting them here side by side for the most part. They are staying in their own little dots. The difference between sparkles or glitter and liquid pearls is that sparkles tend to flatten out a little bit. It's not they are not as thick as liquid pearls, and liquid pearls are meant to shine. So in other words, the liquid pearls are meant to have and designed to have an iridescent finish, and your glitter has a glitter finish. Two totally different looks. Oh my gosh, that's what Wanda just said. Stickles is glitter and liquid pearls has a pearl finish. Right, liquid pearls. Zoom out. Okay, now I'm going to turn this page sideways. Hold on, let me get there. Okay, do you guys see how elevated those are? That's a side view. You see it? That's what liquid pearl does if you use it without thinning it. So I've got all these little bumps now around the outside of my poinsettia. All right, let me show you one little more thing here. And see what this is starting to do is it'll skin over. Now, do you see all the shine on this? Look at that. See it? That's all the natural shine from the liquid pearls. Ooh, look at this shine right here. It makes like a little S. Zoom in. You see it? Zoom out. Zoom out. All right. Now, the centers of the poinsettias are usually green and yellow. So I'm going to dig back into my little treasure trove here. That we now have. I'm not even sure it's worth it to try and shake this stuff up because it's so thick. And I do have to tell you, this stuff is expensive. I think it's like $2.50 a bottle. Zoom in. All right. So I'm going to take my light green here and just get rid of the white. Is everybody clear about what liquid pearls does and how you can make it sit on top of the surface with a dimension? Now, Ranger, which is the company, says that you can dilute this stuff. You can paint it with a brush. You can dilute it with water to use as a glaze. Drying time varies, but allow at least 2 to 3 hours. If you put it on fabric, you pre-wash the fabric, decorating, and wait 72 hours before washing, and you hand wash only. So it's kind of like putting rhinestones on there, but it's pearls. All right. So watch this. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Rhonda, have you used liquid pearls, or are you just saying that you love it based on what I'm showing you? Okay, I put 5 drops I'll have to try painting with it. Oh, jeez. Okay, I put 5 drops of this yellow on here. So now I've got 5 little bumps now on the page. And I'm going to go over to this side here. I probably am only going to have room for like 3. Now, if you need to go outside of your design a little bit, of course. There we go. You can see the individual bumps. Oh, Rhonda, you've used mostly stickles. Okay. Everybody see those individual bumps now that we've got? Let me see if I can tip this up a little bit and show you. Hold on. There you go. You're looking on the sides. See that? Above the surface. They look like little domes. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, everybody see that now. Zoom in. Now, these drops ran together, fine. These drops ran together, fine. But when you apply more than one color, wait in between your colors. So I'll put the green on here tomorrow. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Anybody have any questions? Isn't that cool? I'm so excited. See that? Oh, there's a good view. See, I've bent the page a little bit. And you can see, look at that. That's what liquid pearls does in its purest form, without diluting it. All right, I'm going to call it an evening. I had a good time. Oh, having too much fun again with another piece. Questions, comments? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Stacy, good night. Jean, good night. Everybody else that's here, good night. Hope you learned something. Have a great rest of the evening. Love you guys. Wanda, love ya. Zoom in. That looks so cool. And it's going to look cooler when I get these other areas colored. Okay, guys. Joyous, joyous coloring. How could I not end a broadcast without saying that? Dorothy, love you. Blessings to you in abundance. Ooh, look at those hearts pouring out. I love it. Guys, continue to be kind to each other. I love how you guys support and help each other. You're the best. I'm so proud of you. Zoom in. So this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And we will have hopefully as much fun. Love you guys. Bye.